Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to talk about something a little different. Some of life's bitter truths. The kind of wisdom that we all kind of feel is true deep down, but, well, we spend a lot of energy trying to ignore.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question for you. What if accepting these harsh realities, what if that isn't about being negative? What if it's actually the real secret to genuine growth and, becoming truly resilient?
You see, the core idea here is that a lot of us are living in this sort of self-made illusion, right? We're actively ignoring the things that really shape our lives. And that refusal to just look at the truth, well, that's what sets us up for some of our biggest disappointments and setbacks.
So, let's kick things off by looking at the outside world and one of the most powerful forces in it, the tricky relationship between people and money.
Wow. That is a blunt, pretty uncomfortable statement, isn't it? But the idea it's getting at is that your financial situation has this profound, almost like a gravitational pull on your social life.
And this really shows you what that social gravity looks like in action. When you've got nothing, people they seem to drift away. But once you have money, suddenly you might find you're the most popular person in the room.
And this gets right to the heart of that last point. The really crucial takeaway is that the respect or the attention you're getting, it's often aimed at your wealth, not necessarily at your character or who you are as a human being. And that's a really subtle but super important difference.
Okay, so we've looked at the outside world. Now, let's turn the lens inward, away from other people and onto the internal truths about ourselves, our own emotions, and what we expect from everybody else.
Here's a really powerful thought. The deepest emotional pain we feel doesn't just randomly happen to us. So often, it actually grows from the seeds of the expectations we plant on other people.
And this is where it gets tough. Because here's the painful irony, right? The person who's most likely to cause you real pain is often the one you trust the most, the one you love the most. It's a hard reminder that even our closest bonds aren't totally immune to this stuff.
So what's the big insight here? It's all about managing our emotional attachments. The key is understanding that relationships they're fluid. Instead of seeing people as these permanent things in our lives, the focus shifts to the one thing we can control, our own emotional responses.
And this brings up another big internal hurdle, It's one thing to recognize a hard truth in your own mind. That can be pretty easy. But actually having to say that truth out loud to someone else, that can be one of the hardest things you ever have to do.
Just think about how much our inner state completely shapes how we see the world. Music is a perfect example. You know how this works, right? When you're happy, every upbeat song feels like it was written just for you. But when you're sad, you suddenly hear the lyrics to a somber song and you understand them on a whole different level. Your reality literally changes with your mood.
Okay, so all of this has been leading up to the final, and maybe the most powerful idea in this whole explainer, the two ultimate tests that reveal a person's true core nature.
The idea here is that our true character, it isn't what we show every day when things are just fine. No, it's what comes out when we're pushed to our absolute limits in the fire of extreme circumstances.
And here they are. The first test is your patience when you have absolutely nothing. And the second test, it's your attitude when you have absolutely everything. The thinking goes that how you handle yourself in these two polar opposite situations, that reveals everything about who you really are.
And this is the final, absolutely crucial thing to remember. Life is so unpredictable. Your situation, whether it's good or bad, it's never permanent.
And that's exactly why those two tests matter so much. How you respond to them can literally change your destiny. Patience can take nothing and turn it into everything. And a bad attitude can take everything and turn it right back into nothing. The dice are always rolling.
So we'll leave you with that question to think about. Right now, in your life, which test are you facing? Is it a test of your patience or a test of your attitude? Thanks for watching.